everyone, my name is Sugong Watana and I'm happy to be here with my teammate Lim, Bunho and Sokeng to talk to you about JP Morgan Chase and our story. Please wait until the end of our presentation to ask the questions. Now for today's content, I have divided it into 7 parts. The first one is intro to JP Morgan Chase, vision and mission, business principle, challenge and key issues, stakeholder, communication objective, and the last one is the conclusions. The first part of my presentation is intro to JP Morgan Chase & Co. It is one of the oldest financial institutions in the United States with an asset of 2.3 trillion US dollar, and it is operated worldwide with the 4 main segments. The first one is the consumer and community banking, CCB. The second one is corporate investment bank, CIB, commercial banking, CB, and asset and wealth management, AWM. The first one, CCB, offer a service of the deposit and investment product and service to consumer. With the CIB offer almost the same service. The CB offer financial solutions. The AWM offer wealth management service. Now, if you take a look at their website, JP Morgan Chase have said that they have operated in over 100 markets all over the world with almost 200,000 employees, and also offer service to millions of consumers, small businesses, and also to world most popular corporates and the government clients. And also the second part of my presentation is the vision and missions. JP Morgan Chase have operated in over 200 years, and all those years they have achieved a lot. And but I'm going to talk about 2 of their main achievements. The first one is in 1958, the Chase have introduced the retail card, credit card. It is the first one in New York, which was named as the Manhattan Plan Card Charge Plan, but it is soon to rename as Unicard. And in 1969, it also introduced the ATM. It became one of the first banks in New York to introduce a 24-hour banking service. And now for their awards, they have received numerous awards, such as from Unism has ranked in the top 5 as one of the world's most attractive employers by business students in 2015, which means that the business students that graduate want to work at JP Morgan Chase the most. And in Fortune magazine, it also has received the highest ranked mega bank among all of the companies worldwide for 4 years in a row, start from 2015 to 2018. It also received a Boston Consulting Group list of the most innovative company of 2016, and it also the highest ranked financial service company on the list. So the vision and mission is to create a great team and a winning culture. Our mission is to be the best financial service company in the world. So as mentioned, for the achievements and the award, we can say with great confidence that JP Morgan Chase is the company that is going to be the best financial service company in the world. So the last part of my presentation is the business principle. JP Morgan Chase have believed that business principle is the fundamental to their success. So they work together to grow and to adhere all of their 4 main business principles, such as the client service, operational excellence, integrity, fairness, and responsibility, and also a winning culture. But in all of these 4, they also have a small category that says that they also ensure that the accounting is fair, accurate, and transparent. They also said that they will anticipate problems and offer immediate solutions, and also to give the customer the best service, best offer and price, and also be rigorous and detailed. So as we take a look at the quote from their website, we can say that what we can and will promise is to be trustful and give honest assessment, and also to act with integrity, honor, and also choose to do the right things. So this is all about my part. I will give the floor to Nguyen to talk about challenges and key issues.
So thank you, Watana. So for my part, I'm going to discuss about the challenges and issues that JP Morgan Chase has faced, and especially the problem that seems to show that they have done something really opposite from what they promised to their customer. So first, I'm going to talk about some of their principles, which are give customer good and fair deal, especially competitively priced products and services. Also, never allow a short-term profit consideration to get in the way of doing what is right for the customer. Be accountable, straightforward and honest for all of your dealings. Plus, ensure that accounting is fair, accurate, and transparent. So next, I'm going to talk about the scandal that JP Morgan Chase has faced, and especially it is called credit card billing scandal, which is one of the biggest scandal from JP Morgan Chase. So actually, you can transfer the balance from your home equity loans or car loans or many other balance from other credit card to credit card of JP Morgan Chase with a low fixed rate until the loan was paid off. But suddenly the company changed the policy by increasing the monthly payment from 2% to 5% of the loan plus $10 per month for additional charge. So which means that if you are a cardholder of JP Morgan Chase with a balance of $20,000 you will notice that the minimum payment that you have to pay will jump from $400 to $1,000. Also, with the scandal, the bank is accused for enrolling customers with the add-on services for the credit card, which some services are like promise them to alert them to any potential fraud, but after the investigation, they have found out that the promised services were not either performed or only partially performed. Therefore, the bank was accused by unfairly charge customer for credit monitoring services in which they did not get between 2005 to 2012, and as a result, customers have filed 14 separate class action complaints in various district courts, charged Morgan Chase for violating the Truth in Lending Act and also breaching its contract with the customer. Therefore, the public perception of JP Morgan Chase has changed. People view JP Morgan Chase in different view and they start to accuse the bank for being corrupted and unethical. And for the settlement, the company only agreed to pay $100 per customer, which is half of the amount that they have paid to the JP Morgan Chase, especially for certain promotional credit card loans. And especially it only a really small amount compared to the worth of the overall assets of the company, which is worth around $2.3 billion. So for the next part, which is about stakeholders analysis, I will give the floor to my friend Wen Huo, who will discuss about the impact of the scandals on the stakeholders of JP Morgan Chase.
So there's many stakeholders that involved in this problem. There are customer, community, competitor, regulator, shareholder, and employee. And we prioritize based on the four model that is discussed in the chapter 3 of the Secret Handshake textbook. We have selected 3 different major stakeholders who was affected the most by this problem. And those 3 stakeholders are consumer, shareholder, and employee. So our first stakeholder who was affected by this problem are the consumer. And the consumer is their concern are the safety of their information. As you know, when there's happening to be a credit card error or a scandal or a scam to the credit card, most of the JP Morgan credit card holder might think that their personal information is not safe. Also, the second concern is the open timely disclosure in a manner that they are informed about the change of any policy. So the consumer did not receive any message from the JP Morgan about the upgrade, the changing of the policy. And the third concern is the cost of the rate. Like JP Morgan have increased the loan rate without any inform to the consumer, as well as the reason of the increasing. And there's some problem arose around this group of stakeholders. The first problem is JP Morgan should pay back the extra money that they have charged the consumer. And the second problem is the decrease in retention. As you know, the business principle of JP Morgan is to ensure the safety and improve the banking experience of the consumer. However, as this problem happened, the retention rate of the consumer might decrease it. And the last problem is, as the retention is decreasing, the rate of the consumer switching to our competitor company is high, which was lead to the second stakeholder group problem. So our second stakeholder group is the shareholder, and the concern is the branding of the company. As you know, branding of the company is one of the key factors to ensure the success of the company. And if there's a problem to the reputation of the company, it might affect to the shareholder, which was the person who owned many different business, and it might affect the other business. And the second concern and problem is the time to settle down the issue. As you know, shareholder is the person who have a lot of things to be done, and the longer the problem held, the longer the problem that will come up to them. So they want to settle down all those issues as fast as possible. And the last concern and problem is the financial performance. As shareholder is focusing on profit, and if the business is losing the profit, they might stop investing in JP Morgan, and it lead to the decrease in profit for JP Morgan. So the last stakeholder who was affected the most by this problem is the employee, and most of their concern is about the future career and the reputation of the JP Morgan. As those concerns might rise to the problem, which is they think that the reputation of the JP Morgan went down, it might affect their future career when they want to go to higher position in other company. And one more event is the employee layoff, which they afraid that JP Morgan gonna have an employee layoff, which is the need of them. They didn't want JP Morgan to do the employee layoff. So this is all for my part. I want to pass this stage to Sokhae, and he's gonna talk about communication objective.
So let's move on to the last part of our presentation, which is about communication objective for the stakeholder. The most formal way to communicate with a stakeholder like a shareholder is arranging schedule for the meeting. In this way, we can deliver PowerPoint and information related to the issue directly to our shareholder. Also, it makes them easier to understand and make us easier to explain and answer their question immediately. Being in the same room with our shareholder can make us avoid an issue like misinterpretations. Of course, face-to-face meeting is more effective than other methods because it can make the difference in reaching agreement, establish more trust, and give a better report. However, if we want to communicate with a stakeholder like employee, we should use confidence calls. The first reason to use this confidence call is it don't make us take a lot of time to travel to reach employee location in order to talk to them in person. And the second reason is it is cheap. The only required is the cost of phone call. So I believe that it both benefits us and our stakeholders. Moreover, if we are aware that we have a lot of obstacles to deal with, we should use this confidence call because it can be scheduled by using only a little amount of time. On the other hand, if we want to contact our stakeholder, such as consumer, we should use emails. Email can make us fast to deliver message, file, video, or presentation to our stakeholders. And moreover, email is free. We can send many messages as a lot as we want without paying anything. So I believe that this is the best way to communicate with our consumers. And that's all I want to talk about communication objective, and it's also the end of our presentation concerning the difference between company narrative and the general public narrative. I would like to summarize by saying that we have talked about the introduction to the JP Morgan Chase, the mission and visions, the business principle, the key issue and challenge, stakeholder, and lastly I have mentioned about the communication objective. So thank you very much for being such a very attentive audience, and I hope you enjoy our presentations. And are there any questions?
In the business principle, you had mentioned about the winning culture. Could you briefly explain more about it?
So winning culture is one of the four main principles or business principle of JP Morgan Chase. And to put it simply, it's basically building a team together from different backgrounds with diversity to create the best team for our employee to work in the best environment for the company. So, is there any more?